I have this really chunky necklace that I picked up for $2 at a sale somewhere, probably a church rummage sale. And I'm really curious as to how this was assembled, and more importantly, how to take it apart and make use of the components. I can't even begin to tell you how heavy this is. I mean, you can see how thick it is. I mean, here's a quarter, okay? It's about as wide as a quarter, but the weight is unbelievable. I mean, there's a ton of beads here. It looks like we have some shell beads and some round silver beads and some crystal beads. And I bought it to take it apart because I thought maybe we could use these components in something else. So I guess the first thing we need to do is, take it apart. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Vicki, and I like to upcycle vintage and pre-owned jewelry and see what we can make with it. Sometimes I use new beads and findings, and sometimes I mix the two. So we are going to see what we can do with this. That's what we do here. Opening up the jump ring, I'll save the lobster clasp. I might be able to upcycle that. We have a bead cone here. It looks like all these beads are held by this one head pin. I'm going to try to, okay, there's the opening. Open the head pin, take some flush cutters and cut it off. And we'll find out what's underneath here. How did they assemble it? I think it's always fun to find out how. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. What do we have? We have, oh, I wasn't expecting thread. It's not stretchy, but I wasn't expecting thread. We do have more wire. I wonder if these are all wired. I can kind of see this thread going down through here, and then it was wired up. But I'm still a little confused about the head pin and how that was used. I think I can get these little scissors in here and cut the thread, and I think we're going to have beads going everywhere. Yes, success. Oh, that's what I was hoping for, that they would be really easy to take off. Love this. Oh my gosh. You know how much time it took to put each one of these little beads onto a head pin? Make a loop at the top. And how little time it takes to take it apart. There was no brand on this. None whatsoever. Otherwise, I would have probably checked into it. But I don't know who would wear this. It would be very hot and heavy to wear in the summertime. Just on this cord, I called it a thread, but it's a pretty heavy cord. Let's go ahead and just cut this again. Beads, beads everywhere, bead. I'm excited about this because it would take me hours and hours and hours if I were to make all of these. I don't know if I want to use those scissors anymore. I'm going to use these scissors. I bet there's several hundred pieces here. Are you counting for me? Anybody counting? I guess that wasn't really a head pin. It was just wire that they tied around this cord and then took the wire up through. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I'm not sure what I was expecting other than I'm really glad that what I hoped for came true, and that is that they were all on one cord and I didn't have to detach every single one. I thought, oh my gosh, that would be a lot of work. So let's cone off of here. I will save that. Yep, it was just a little piece of wire put up through there. It took hours to make and minutes to take it apart. Woohoo! Look at all these beads. And that's a very heavy head pin. Do you see how large the end of the head pin is? It almost looks like a nail. It's very heavy. So this is what we have. This looks like some kind of shell. It doesn't look like stone to me. It looks like shell. And we have little round beads. Now, oh, the round beads have their own loop with it, and they were threaded on there. It makes room so you can see. These have a loop built into the little round bead, and they were just stacked in between everything else. So those don't have this. They have their own loop. So they were just stacked. Imagine these just being stacked. And I can see there's some threads here from the cord and everything. Let's go ahead and separate these into what they are. I think I'll put them into bowls. We'll do silver, crystals, shell. And I'll fast forward this.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed.
Quite a few of those. Now let's do the crystals.
Amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you.
Crystals with a few black ones in here. Not sure why. And I honestly don't think these are the prettiest color to go with the purple that I'm seeing here. I think they could have used something different, but you know, hey, that's okay. It's mine now to do what I want with it. How much did I say I paid? $2. $2 for all these beads and 2 bead caps and a jump ring. That's what we've got. Now, what can we make with it? Any ideas? As I said, I'm not crazy about this color with the purple. I never would have put that together. I do love the purple. And I went through my bead stash, one of my hauls. I pulled this bag of beads that I got at Salvation Army for only $3. What a deal. I was excited that day. I got a whole bunch of bags of beads. So let's get this opened up. I could tell by the weight that they were glass. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful these are. Look at those. How many do I have? I haven't even opened it. I've had it for a while now. I've got different sizes. I don't know who donated these, but I'm pretty happy that they did. $3 for all of this. You know that strands like this can go for anywhere from, gosh, $5 up to maybe even $9 in some of the bead stores. As I said, they're all glass, different colors. I don't know if they have a special name or not, but I'm happy to have them. And actually, we have 4 sizes of these. So I think this is going to work great. I think we can combine the shiny purple with this shell. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it yet. Yeah, how am I going to do it? I guess we could use memory wire. We could use stringing wire. But I know one thing. I do want to make a bracelet. I can make a charm bracelet with dangles. I guess I do need to take a strand of the beads apart, and I need to decide what size do I like. Well, let me just take that memory wire just to see if I were to put 3 of these on here, just like they are. I'm not saying I'm using the memory wire. I'm just using it to put these on here. What size bead do I like with it? Those are out. Those are too large. These would work okay. They look like an 8mm. These look like 6, and those look like 4. That size is okay too. It makes the shell beads pop. And do I even want to put these on a memory wire bracelet anyway? Because I'm not sure if I would like that look. Because the loops are quite big, so they're quite loose from the wire. They might be better on a linked chain, more like a charm type bracelet. Decisions. I'll think about it for a minute and be right back. Okay, I thought about this for a few minutes, and I think I have an idea. And that idea is a type of cha-cha bracelet, but not exactly a cha-cha bracelet. I really don't want these all the way around the wrist. It probably would be more comfortable as a necklace. But I'm thinking that I could make a cha-cha, what can I call it? Cha-cha cluster, I guess. Cha-cha cluster as a focal point for a bracelet, but finish off with beads. In addition to that, I'm going to make beaded links instead of stringing it, instead of memory wire. I'm going to do something completely different, something that I don't think has ever been done before. That's what I tend to do. So for starters, I think I'm going to, which size do I want to work with? I think I'm going to take these apart. I like this size. I'll probably use other sizes too of these purple beads, but I just don't want to turn what was a very heavy necklace into a very heavy bracelet. And if I were to do these all the way around the wrist, I just think it would be way too heavy, uncomfortable if we got it under the wrist. So I kind of want a cha-cha influence, but not cha-cha. Do you know what cha-cha is? Cha-cha is a bunch of dangles, typically on chain. So we need for this some 18 gauge wire because we're going to be making linked beads. This is my wire straightener that I like to use. And I'm not going to cut the wire by length yet. Not yet. Instead, I'm going to figure out my pattern, not of the cha-cha part, the little cha-cha cluster as I called it. I'm going to figure out what I want the linked beads to look like. So if I incorporate these, what size do I want to go with them? This size or the smallest size? Or maybe both of these sizes. Maybe. I am going to use these. I am going to use these, and I am going to use these. I am not using those. Those are out. Just not sure if I want contrast to this or similar beads. So many decisions to make. All right, let's cut these apart. So what do I mean by linked? I mean that I want to put a few beads together on the wire and then put a loop at each end and link them together. So I need to build a pattern. I need to figure out what my pattern is going to be and how long I want each section of the bracelet to be. It's not going to take a lot because it doesn't take a lot of beads to make a bracelet to begin with. And I guess I need to decide if I want to incorporate any spacer beads or any bling in this. I think I want some spacer beads. So I have a few daisy spacers. This is what they look like. I should have put them over here. Just adds a little bit of bling in addition to the wire. So here we go. I think this is going to be my pattern around the wrist. I am going to be using in this video my 2.25 one-step looper. If you don't have this, I will show you how to make a loop. But for right now, I'm going to make one here. I'm just putting this underneath that bar in the center, up to the hole. You can go through the hole, but it just wastes more wire. So I'm just going to go kind of up to it. Your beads really can't go past the pin, you know, or you'll break the bead. It can't get stuck in here, so you need to hold it back a little bit. Just squeeze that, pull it back slightly, and there's our loop. There's our little bit of waste, not too much. And I do have to trim this now to make the second loop. So I'm going to use my flush cutters and allow about a 1/2 inch. Push the beads down, put this through. You can go up to or through the hole. I'm pushing the left end of my wire where the loop is all the way through the beads. Give this a press, and we have our loop. I think 18 gauge works best for one-step looper. So this is my little bead bar. And if you need to at all, just make sure that your ends are facing the same direction. Okay, these are pretty good. Turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. Let's make another one. This time I'll show you how to do this if you don't have a one-step looper, because I did tell you I would show you. Let's go ahead and just put some beads on here, and our spacer bead, whatever you'd like to use, and a larger round purple bead, and a spacer, and a small one. Kind of picking the lighter purple for the ends. Now, I've got the spool on the other end, so the beads aren't going to go anywhere. Let's go ahead and flush cut. This is the back side of our cutters. Flush cut our wire. To make a loop, you'll need round nose pliers. Let's just put this flush here with the round nose pliers and make a loop. Have a loop. Let's fold it back. Pull it back so it looks like an eye pin. Close it up. Push our beads down. And if you don't like working with the spool, you can get rid of the spool. And I'm going to cut this, flush cut it. I'm going to allow myself a good 1/4 inch here. And then it's flush at the top. You just roll it, make a loop, pull it back, close it up. So that's another way to make your loops at the end for what could almost be called a little bead bar, and make sure they're on the same plane. So this one I made on the one-step looper, and it's a little bit loose. The beads are a little bit looser than this one. That's just how it is. The one-step looper, they're always a little bit looser on wire. So now you know how to make this section of beads either with the one-step looper or without. I move these around. I don't know which is which. This is without because it's looser, and this is with the one-step looper. Let's go ahead and make what I call the cha-cha cluster. We'll need some wire, again 18 gauge. Okay, let's make cha-cha cluster, as I'm calling it. I already flush cut that. Let's thread some of these on here and some of our beads, probably this size right here. Let me zoom out a little bit. A little too close. There we go. So I am thinking about putting one of these beads. I think these are about 8mm, but let's find out. Yes, 8mm. So I have an 8mm round bead, and then, you know, I have these I can use too. Let's put a small one on here. Remember, the loop comes with it. I know everything's going to fall back to the wire right now, but bear with me here. Let's just feed 3 of these purple shell beads on here. No rhyme or reason, just picking 3. And then let's add one of the larger silver beads, and then 3 more of these, random sizes. Oh, I guess I want to do one more of these small ones, maybe. And one more of these beads. Let's see if these are going to be enough to make a little cluster for the top of the bracelet. I think so. I mean, if I didn't have these silver beads, I probably could have, I'm going to move these around a little bit on here. I probably could have taken the larger purple beads and put head pins on them. But I think I want to go with this. I'm just kind of moving these around to see if I have a different way that I like that. I think I'm good with it. I don't want it to get too big. It's going to be across the top of the wrist right here. So I think I'm going to stop right there. You know, the first time of everything, you've heard me say it before, I'll say it again. First time we make anything, it's an experiment. I got that out of whack a little bit, so I have to break that off. That was my fault. I didn't have a good grip on it. Let's push the beads down. Now I'm going to just cut the wire probably right about here and just kind of check how the beads are laying. See if I want to adjust anything before I lock this down with the loop at the other end. I don't know that there's any rhyme or reason to it, but I kind of like that. I guess the thing is, I could have put a large on the back side as well as the front side. I'm just going with it. I'm going to hold the beads, put this through here till the beads stop, make a loop, and I'm good. Now let's see if my idea is going to work at all. What I'm thinking, I guess you have 2 options of wearing this. That way, and again, we could have put a larger purple bead here. I would just need to make a head pin, probably a wire wrapped head pin, but this is kind of what I wanted to try. And I need to link these together. I need some small jump rings, about 6 millimeter. And let's connect these. Try to find out if what I'm working towards is even going to work. If it has any merit. Sometimes it's hard to say. Close that up. It's different. I'll give it that. It's different. I'm not sold on it yet, but let's make a few more of these bead connectors and see. You don't actually see everything that I make. Some things don't turn out. Some things I'm still working on, actually, trying to get them to turn out. Still working on ideas. I've had one necklace I've been working on for quite some time. But, you know, I'm just like you. I'm still learning. I learn every day. And every time I try to make something, whether it works or not, I learn something. So for that, I'm good.
I can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends. Let's be more than friends. Yeah.
Okay, let's make a loop.
You know I'm here to stay.
Guess I have it through the hole a little bit, but I don't want these beads to get caught in there, so I have to pull it back a little bit too. I have never broken a bead using this. I guess it could happen. By the way, you will find a link for the one-step looper below the video if you want to get one and try it. They come in 3 sizes. I have the medium size, 2.25. They cost a little bit, so I just went with the medium size, 2.25, and it's working fine. I don't know if I'll have a need to buy the smaller one or not. You can also buy, I guess, all 3 at the same time. Okay, let's make another one. And this wire straightener too. This is very handy. They make different kinds, but I like this one. Been using it for a long time. You can see I keep switching back and forth between tools. I'm going to flush cut this. Put some beads on here.
You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah.
Push the beads down. And how much did we say we needed? About 3/4 of an inch. Seemed to work pretty good. Making sure I turn this so that the loops will go the same direction. Putting it through the hole if I can, but Don't want the beads to get caught in there. I like to use my chain nose pliers a lot because they're thin at the tip. So we had 2 on that side. Let's put 2 on this side. Make sure our loop is closed up. And this is what we have so far. How much more do we need? Not a whole lot. I don't need 2 full bead bars, that's for sure. But I need a little more than what I have here. But almost too small. I don't need a full length of these. I don't. So what can we do? I need to start pulling back. I just need a little more. I just don't need a full bead bar. If I make 2 of those, it'll be way too big. So maybe I'll just do 1 of these on each side. Let's try it. I can always take it apart. Sometimes it's stuck there. Whoa, it's loose on there, but I think it will be okay. Let's try it. Close that up. It's loose on here. I think the reason is because I didn't have a round bead up next to the end of the wire. I just had these round spacers. I might need to redo that. I'm going to try it a different way. Since we're getting to the end, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to put a small round bead, little 3mm bead, then the spacer, then one of the 8mm round purple beads, a daisy spacer, and a little round bead. I think the reason that is loose is because it didn't have a bead on the end. I could be wrong. Could be another reason. Let's just go ahead and make this loop. Push the beads down. I'm going to tilt it this way so my beads are falling back. Don't want that bead to be caught in there. I'm kind of pulling it back. Let's see if this tightens it up a little bit. Oh, absolutely. It tightened it up. So I'm going to redo that one. But for now, till I redo that, let's go ahead and put this on this end. And let's just redo this one. We wasted a little bit of wire, but we had to experiment to know for sure. A one-step looper doesn't work well up against spacer beads, and I guess I should not be surprised by that. And I hope I don't make it too big. I hope I'm really close to this working.
So hold me tight through the night.
Much better. If I hadn't tried it without the small beads, I wouldn't have learned that I actually need the small round beads. If you know what I mean. I learned from my trial and error. I don't know if it's error, but yeah. From my experiment. Let's see where we are with this. I'm there. I just need a very small lobster clasp. Well, I don't know that it has to be very small, but I need a lobster clasp. And what do? We always check it and make sure that it works. Not going to give us a hard time, although I can change it out easy. It's not like I strung the beads. Attach it with a jump ring. Doesn't matter which end. And then I'm going to get a slightly larger jump ring to attach that to. Slightly larger ring. Sorry, I bumped the camera. We've got it. I was just trying to think outside of the cha-cha box and come up with something different by combining a little cluster of cha-cha beads with linked beads. And this center bead would have looked pretty had it been a purple glass bead, but I was trying to include some of these beads from our upcycle. I really didn't use hardly any of these at all. I mean, I could make a charm bracelet, I could make a regular cha-cha bracelet or a necklace or whatever. I've made something that, well, I know I've never made it before, and I know I've never seen it before. A lot of times I walk away from my jewelry for a day or so and then come back to it. And that's the case with this bracelet that I made. I also added a small extension chain and one of the little chip shells on the end. So let's take a look at the size of this. Without the extension chain, it's at 7.5. With the extension chain, it goes up to 8.5. So I think that will work fine because I am going to list these in our eBay store. So I decided to not measure it for my wrist, but to measure it for selling. So this is the first bracelet to make this little cha-cha cluster, as I call it. I do want to make a pair of earrings, and then I have something else to show you. I pulled out for each earring 6 of the little shell. So I need 6 over here and 6 over here. And then I pulled out 2 of the larger purple beads, and I'm supposed to have 2 of these, one rolled away, and 2 of these. So 8mm, 6mm, and the shell. Let's make some easy earrings to go with this bracelet. I have 2 2-inch head pins. And by the way, if you hear some noise in the background, well, my neighbor decided to mow. My neighbor is mowing right at the same time I decided to start this video. I think I'm going to start with the 8mm purple glass bead. And using these little shell pieces that already have the loop, I'm going to stack 6 of these. No particular order, just 6 of them. Let them fall where they may. And then top it off with the 6mm round purple bead. And I'm just pushing everything down. And you could put as many of these as you want, because as you know, I have quite a few left. I have quite a few left of everything. But let's just go with the 6, because I don't want these to get too heavy. Let's go ahead and get some ear wires. Got 2 ear wires, and if I need to, I'll just play some music while I make these, because the mower noise is getting a little bit louder. You know, I have to make jewelry when I can. I need to work around a lot of things. I could add a silver bead on top. Could do that too, but let's just stick with the purple. Pushing the beads down, round nose pliers, make a loop, so open it and attach the ear wire. See what it looks like. I think that will work. Let's make a second one. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe. And keep watching, there's more. And there we have some crazy looking little cha-cha cluster earrings to go with the bracelet. And keep watching here, because I have something else to show you that I made. And we're going to make one more thing as well. When I was playing the other day, I made 2 of these little cha-cha clusters using these beads and these. But instead of adding the linked beads, I decided to make it really quick and easy and add some chain. So that's what I've done here. It's a fairly nice size chain so that it balances out the weight of the little cha-cha cluster. And then I also added a little bit of extension chain with one of the balls on the end and a lobster clasp on the other end. Let's take a look at the size of this one. Without the extension chain, it's at 7.5. At full extension, it goes all the way up to about 8 3/4. And if you don't have a bracelet cone, I have a link for this below the video where you can find other affiliate links for my tools and things like that. So let's make a pair of earrings to go with this one. Again, I have 2 2-inch head pins, and I have some of the shells, 6 for each pair of earrings. And this time, instead of using the glass beads, I'm using these little round silver beads. I need to put a large round bead at the bottom as a stopper. So then let's add 6 of these, no particular order. Got 6 of those, and then add 3 of these. Just kind of push everything down. And I think honestly we could add 1 more of these beads at the top. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do that. So we have the silver bead at the bottom, and I'm pushing everything down tight. I'm just going to finish it off. And we need 2 ear wires. So I'm pushing it down, bending it, cutting it back to 1/4 inch, and making a loop. This is flush. And I feel all of my beads moving now that I took my hand off of here to show you that was flush. So I need to push everything back down again. Just straighten it up. Let's go ahead and make the other one before we assemble. I need 2 of these round beads. Got to make sure the head pin doesn't go through the hole. Then 6 of these. just kind of, work it a little bit till it fills in the space. Let's take a look at So I hope this gives you some inspiration on how you can use pre-made necklaces that have these cha-cha beads and make these cha-cha clusters. You can add chain, you could add leather cord, or you could work with beads, linked beads, using a one-step looper or making loops to connect the sections of beads and make some fun earrings. So I hope you enjoyed today's upcycle. I hope it inspires you to try something like this. I thought it was a great way to use that necklace, and I still have a whole bunch of beads left that I can work with. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.